The best part of working here in Germany is that you have a very well balanced work-life uh, environment here. Nobody after 6 p.m. would talk to you about the work. They don't ping you in the weekends. They don't want you to work after working hours. And this is something that has a major difference, which I experience coming from my country.
Hello and welcome back to another success story today with Shalabh, who is originally from Delhi and now landed a job in Hamburg, Germany. I'm Raul and I'm looking very much forward to talk with our former coachee. Hey Shalabh, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good as well. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Let's talk more now about the time here in Germany, also the tech stack, what it needs for a developer, in your point of view, to get a job here in Germany. You mentioned in our first part of the interview that you had a coding challenge, right? And how would you say, in your experience, what is very important for tech rounds in Germany? What should be considered?
Something that is very important for the tech round is, first of all, I would like to say that George already discussed about it in the video course that we have, that the employers here, they require problem solvers. You don't have to reinvent the solution. So if you get into getting a tech challenge and if you have to work on it, so be precise on the steps that is asked for. Modularize everything into steps what is needed in that you have to do it actually, and then try to complete everything step by step, and then make it as precise as it can and to the point. Nothing fancy here.
Okay, good. And what else?
And of course, whatever you do, you should be knowing about it. And you should be able to explain and get ready if it is selected. If it is, the best possible solution, then get ready for thorough debate on it, actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So you had to justify your whatever you have coded in the tech round.
Yes, of course.
And discuss it, and you need to be able to explain. So communication skills again.
Yeah,
they're also in the tech rounds. Yeah.
Yes, of course, because nobody here would be actually knowing your local regional language, and English is not only treated as a skill but a globally accepted language. So in whatever language that you are communicating, basically the English, which is equally accepted and everywhere used, especially in IT sector here. So you should be thorough in communication. You should know what you are going to explain to them, and of course, again, be precise in your words and just not be kind of an imposter. Just try to explain what you have done, how you have done, and how you approach to the solution of the problem that they gave you.
Okay, and that challenge is very related to your current job that you work on.
The challenge would actually be related to the tech skills that you actually have. So, for example, if I work on Ruby on Rails, if I work on Node.js, most of the time I work on the backend. So I got a challenge for that was related to backend.
Okay. So let us look more closely to your stack. You said you work with Ruby and Node. What would you suggest, recommend other backend developers, maybe also with Ruby Node? What should they know? What is especially important when you work here in Germany? What should some developer bring to the table?
If you go by any job description in today's world, so there is no job description says that they want somebody who is master of one technology. You should be, if I go by my job description that I have passed through, there were several statements which said that you should actually be having a couple of experience in Node, and then 1 year experience in Ruby on Rails, then some front-end technologies, and you should also know some TypeScript. So that if you're a backend developer, especially, so you should be having a complete package out of it. So if they ask you to develop a backend using GraphQL and JavaScript or TypeScript, so you are able to show your all the skill sets in it. Not that you are only doing. They gave you a tech challenge in TypeScript, and you ended up developing everything in JavaScript and did not even look into the requirements of it.
Okay.
Pretty much important.
On the back end, in your current job, and also you probably have gained now a better understanding about the German market. What is a must-have backend technology or technologies that you need to be sound at?
TypeScript is number one here in backend. So you need to have TypeScript because everybody is switching from JavaScript to TypeScript nowadays. And then for the backend frameworks, you should be knowing Python, Ruby on Rails, because those have legacy systems. Those legacy systems were developed in some legacy languages like Ruby on Rails. Now everybody is switching to Node.js and some new forms of APIs like GraphQL. Most of the people now are working on GraphQL, so they don't actually develop in REST APIs. So these are all things that you must be knowing of, or at least have some basic knowledge so that you can go through a basic tech challenge, your skills and understanding.
What about cloud and microservices?
I don't actually work on cloud and microservices, but yes, AWS is mostly used here.
Okay.
Version 2.0.
Okay. Kubernetes and Docker, do you see that as a must-have currently?
As a part of my job description, I didn't actually have to use Docker, but we do use Docker, but those are especially taken care of by the infrastructure people.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, we see that these skills are much more on demand than, let's say, 2 years ago. Yeah. So there's a heavy increase we see in job ads in general. Okay, and now you work with a backend, Node.js, and tell us, how is your team? How do you work with your company? You are at home right now. Do you do home office or you work at the office? How is that going?
Okay, so in my company we have a hybrid work culture. 3 days we do have to go to the office, and then 2 days from home. That is not actually mandatory, but yes, they can be flexible with it, and they can be flexible with the timings as well. And apart from, if I talk about my team, so it is actually a very diversified team from people from all over the world, from Russia, from Iran, from Moldova, and a couple of them from US as well. Those who are working here, and they are very helpful.
Okay, and that's nice to hear.
Yeah, and of course you should be nice to them if you want somebody nice to you, actually.
Cool. And you're the only one from India?
No, we have more people from India here.
Okay, so also that is good. And how would you say, compared to your experiences back in Delhi, when we look at the job itself, what is different? What would you say after now? Since when are you here? Since January, right? How would you say, what are the main differences?
The best part of working here in Germany is that you have a very well balanced work-life environment here. Nobody after 6 p.m. would talk to you about the work. They don't ping you in the weekends. They don't want you to work after working hours. And this is something that has a major difference, which I experience coming from my country.
Okay. That means really that they don't contact you after 5-6 o'clock anymore?
No, never. And they even don't want me to ping them around after work hours. And even if, say, for example, we have been meeting people in some after work events. So at that point of time, we enjoy drinks, having lunch together, or having dinner, or having some get together somewhere else. And even we don't talk about work in those gatherings. So,
Okay. So how often does that happen? Like these kinds of gatherings, meetings?
I can say that once in a fortnight.
Okay. Good. Good. And work in general, like if you go to the office, tell us about your rhythm. How do, like you work across the teams, you work in a team. What is different here as well for to share with the community, maybe also in Delhi and other parts of India?
So we have different teams for everything. We have a different team for marketing. We have different teams for sales. We have different teams for operations. We have different team for HR. I mean, managing human resource and the tech team that I work in. And we, although are the part of different teams, but we collaborate with each other in every aspect. So whenever there is somebody from the sales or marketing who requires some product support, or who has done something wrong, needs to get, and they want something to be edited from the backend, they contact us. We do it from, we give them the best possible product support that we can.
Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of communication between team or departments.
Yes, there is a lot of communication between the departments, and everybody is so generous to talk to you in English. They will never force you to just go and learn German from the day one itself.
Okay, good. Do you do something like that, like learn German, or is it not needed at all?
If you just want to work here and have a life only in IT sector, if you are not as a very big social person like I am, you can work around your way in English for the entire remaining part of your life. You don't actually learn German. But I am kind of a very social person, so I need to talk to everybody. I don't hesitate talking around with anybody, whether of any gender or whether of any age, or whether in office or outside the office. So I really presume that I should know German so that I can buy some groceries, talk to people. Especially there are cases when you need to talk to some support. Say I got something from Amazon Germany, and I need have a word with them because of the product and some refund. So it was actually better to have the knowledge of German, because in that case you will find some trouble here.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like this kind of daily. Yeah. So whatever you do on a routine day, that's.
I mean, if you just don't want to have Indian food and Indian everything, if you want to try some Turkish, if you want to go to some Turkish store and get some groceries, if you want to go to some Chinese store or somewhere else, or some local like Edeka and Aldi here, so it is better to know German, because in that case, you will only have to use your common sense, look into the product, what actually it is. I mean, the look and feel, and then you can buy it. If you speak German, so it would have been easy for you.
Yeah, that's true. I want to ask you the last question here regarding you mentioned your social guy. What aspect do you think here in Germany it is maybe even more important than in Delhi to be a social guy, especially, or let's say, able to interact with people from different cultures, with Germans, etc., to be able to get along at work? How do you do that, and what do you also here recommend people who come to Germany?
There could be multiple aspects of or multiple answers to this, and that totally depends upon person to person. Broadly, if I broadly classify, so I am single here, and I have a family actually. So it is better to socialize with people, talk to people, so that you don't feel lonely, you don't feel depressed, or at point of time when you come here with some dreams in mind, you are not left stranded, actually, not all. In contrast, if somebody who is coming with a family here, they can live their world inside the family for the rest of their life, and even if they don't socialize, it is okay for them. Okay, so if you are coming to Germany, you have to make up your mind that you have to let other people be comfortable and let them feel that you are part of their team. And if you don't do it, so nobody would be actually accepting you. And this is not actually only in Germany. This is all over the world, in every country. Even in my home country, if I just give you an example, maybe people may differ from their opinion, but we don't actually welcome all the strangers in our home. This is going in the home country, and if you want to be friends with them, if you want to have some social gathering, and if you want to be the part of it, so there are two things that you need to consider. Is that let them feel comfortable to talk to you and approach you, and you should also be very much open to talk to them. You should not be kind of a conservative person, because if that is happening, you won't be able to express at all. You will just simply feel you have come here into an alien world where you are all alone, and then you will be rushing back to your country because you cannot actually survive.
I believe this is not happening with you. And
no, not at all.
Everyone, thank you very much. I look very much forward to meeting you in the next discussion with Shalabh. And if you are interested to also move to Germany, work and live here, then please feel free to get in touch with us, and we will discuss your case and see if we can support you. All the best, take care, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.